Scroll 4 of our series about Christmas. Remnant, now that we have exposed the history and the characters, it is time to talk about the symbols, the things people place in their homes, the decorations they celebrate, the traditions they were taught were harmless. Every symbol has a story, and the story of Christmas symbols is a story of pagan worship, winter magic, and spiritual contamination. Let us begin with the one at the center of every home, the tree. Long before anyone called it a Christmas tree, ancient Germanic and Norse tribes worshipped the evergreen as a sacred object. In the dead of winter, when everything else died, the evergreen remained alive. They believed the tree held magical power to guard against evil spirits, sickness, and the darkness of winter. They decorated it with fruit, carved idols, and later with metal, silver, and gold. Yirmiyahu chapter 10 describes this practice exactly. For the customs of the peoples are vain. A tree is cut from the forest, the work of the hands of a craftsman. They deck it with silver and with gold. Jeremiah 10:3-4. Yahuwah was not describing a random ritual. He was speaking of evergreen worship, a practice he commanded his people to avoid. When early Europeans converted to Rome's version of belief, they did not give up the tree. They simply renamed it. The symbol remained pagan. Only the marketing changed. Now let us look at wreaths. The circular wreath is one of the oldest symbols of the sun. Romans used them during Brumalia, the winter solstice feast. Druids used them in fertility rituals. Witches used them to invoke the cycle of the sun's death and rebirth. The circular shape represented the eternal cycle of the sun god, returning in strength after the darkest days of the year. None of this symbolism has any root in Torah or in the teachings of Yahusha. Now consider mistletoe. Today it is used for kissing. Historically, it was used for ritual fertility. Druids considered it sacred because it stayed green in winter and grew high in oak trees, which they worshipped. They believed mistletoe carried the life force of the gods. It was used in spells, in potions, and in rites of conception. Not one part of it is innocent. Next, the Yule log. The word Yule predates Christianity and comes from the Norse midwinter festival. Worshippers selected a massive log, decorated it with carved runes, soaked it in ale or animal blood, and burned it in honor of Odin and other spirits. The ashes were believed to protect homes and to ensure fertility for the coming year. Today it is sold as a cake and attached to a holiday that claims to follow the Messiah. But the roots of the ritual remain unchanged. Now look at lights and candles. In the winter solstice rituals, lights were used to call back the sun, to honor the returning power of the sun god, and to push back the spirits of darkness. The world believes we put lights up to celebrate the season. History tells us they were originally offerings to a false deity. And then there is gift giving. People will tell you the gifts represent the wise men, but the wise men gave gifts once, and not during his birth, possibly 2 years later. The true origin of gift-giving comes from Saturnalia, where Romans exchanged presents during a week of drunkenness, lawlessness, and ritual disorder. Nothing about it was holy. Everything was spiritual mixture. Devarium chapter 12 says, "You shall not worship Yahuwah your Elohim in the way the nations serve their gods." Every symbol of Christmas, the tree, the wreath, the lights, the mistletoe, the Yule log, the gifts, originated in the way the nations served their gods. They were created to honor other mighty ones and to invite their presence in the darkest days of winter. When the world tells you these things are harmless, remember this truth. Origins matter to Yahuwah. He does not accept worship built on foundations he condemned. He does not share his esteem with the symbols of other deities, and the remnant, awakened by his voice, is being called out of the mixture and back into purity, clarity, and covenant truth. In the next scroll, we will expose how the church tried to Christianize these practices and why that strategy never cleansed the roots. Remnant, stay awake. The truth is making you free. Visit our website for more information. Like, follow, and share for more truth.